Hello and welcome to today's Justice. My name is Jahara, and we are joined today by the Republican Brain. Thank you for joining us. Shall I call you Brain?
Sure. And thank you for having me. There is a lot of misinformation about Republicans out there, and I am here to set the record straight, once and for all.
Fabulous. Well, the question that a lot of Americans are asking right now is, where are the jobs? Republicans such as John Boehner ran on the platform of jobs, but there has been little information on what the GOP's plan is to get people back to work.
See, Jahara, that's just factually wrong. The GOP has laid out plan after plan after plan on what to do about this job crisis. But the Democrats in Congress are just not serious about getting it done.
What have those jobs plans entailed?
Look, the fact is that we are never going to get any Americans back to work if America doesn't remove its big gigantic nipple from their mouths.
So you are blaming those who need welfare for the job shortage.
It's tax money, and people need to be weaned off of the government paying for everything. Once they get a taste of the real world and don't have people just making it rain mad dollar bills, the jobs will be there.
Don't
look so surprised. Me and my pal Tim Pawlenty, or as I call him T-Paw, are working on new strategies to make the GOP the new hip party to be at. You dig?
Not in a million years.
MC Rove got it all started a couple years ago with his hippity hop, and now the GOP is ready to launch an all-out campaign to attract the young hipsters to our party. As the Republican Brain, I have already selected a name for this venture. I am calling it the Get Down and Get Funky with Yo Bad Self campaign.
Oh. My. Okay.
Now notice that I said yo and not your. In the near future, you will hear more of the GOP using such vernacular. I'm sorry. I meant vernacular. You see how I did that? I took the R off of the end of vernacular. It's vernacular, and not vernacular. Hear that? Law. Law. Not lar. Law.
Oh. Okay.
Now, saying law and not lar gives the illusion of being more laid back. And down. And with it. Here, I'll demonstrate. I put my hand up on ya hip, when you dip, I dip, we dip.
I'm afraid we are way off topic here. Please be seated.
Typical liberal. Can't take the heat. Can't handle the flavor.
We're going to go back on topic now, Brain. It seems that your party regards the majority of people on welfare as being lazy, addicted to drugs, and you have even gone as far as to call them hobos. Isn't the best way to get people off of welfare to create jobs here in America?
First of all, it is true that approximately 232% of the welfare population is on drugs. It's just fact, and there is no way around it. I have a chart with me that will prove it once and for all. Go ahead, look at it. Now, as you can see, 92% of that chart is made up with crack pipers, while 78% are meth doers. The coke sniffers make up 62%, and most of them are here in Washington, D.C., receiving the perfectly acceptable corporate form of welfare. It's all right there in black, red, green, blue and white.
Perhaps I should have asked you to flip the filibuster switch off before we sat down. Would you just please address the fact that the GOP has not laid out any concrete plans for job creation, after promising that you would?
Listen, beautiful Jahara, until we get people off of the tic-tacs, how do we know just how many jobs are needed? Besides, there are plenty of jobs that Americans are just too plan-uppity to consider. I have another chart that I would like to show you, and your viewers. It will prove once and for all that there are jobs out there. First off, there are all of these nice, wholesome jobs that just too many Americans have gotten away from. Things such as paperboy, helping old women cross the street, and fixing bicycles are all honest jobs that need hard, American workers. I mean, let's face it, there is always an old lady somewhere in America crossing the street, and since gas is so high, and only going to get higher, the bicycle industry is sure to be booming soon, if not already. Next we have what I like to call the meat and potatoes of the job industry. Just all of those yummy full-time jobs waiting to be filled by the American worker.
Do you and your party realize that there was a 10-year span of no job creation in the private sector, and that the case isn't just that there are people out there living high off the hog on their measly government checks? There are simply not enough jobs to go around.
You make a compelling argument.
Is that it?
We can't just keep paying people to stay at home, said Demand. It's time to lead the horse away from the trough and make him go to work, said Hagedorn. It's tax money, and people need to be weaned off of the government paying for everything, Senate President Michael Wadoops, R. Taylorsville, said. Refusing to continue to extend unemployment benefits is a motivation for people to get back to work. Senator John Kyle of Arizona, the Republican whip, argued that unemployment benefits dissuade people from job hunting because people are being paid even though they're not working.